open your evil mind.
Hold your insulting tongue and mark my words well.
How about this rumor that you are really Iron Man, Mr. Stark?
Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Comic Book Chronicles. I am your host, Roddykat. You can find me at Roddykat on Twitter. You can find me at News Nerds Need on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find me at CBCaps on Instagram.
South Carolina with Columbia down the way.
And the sound effects you've heard come from none other than our man in Brooklyn. One, Agent_70 on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads.
What's up, everybody? Co-hosting from the Borough of Kings, live and direct. We are back once again.
I'm just a kid from Brooklyn.
Sorry, folks. I'm just sitting here trying to do something I probably should have tried to do. Haha. But until we get that squared away, we're just going to do, you find this here podcast on the Cold Slither Podcast Network, the CSPN.US.
Do it today.
Shoot. And you can also find us on your podcast perusal place of choice, whether it be Apple iTunes, aka Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the Cold Slither Podcast Network SoundCloud page.
Make sure to click like, subscribe, and leave us all the positive 5-star reviews, especially on Apple Podcasts, because that helps people find our show.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, I guess that's not going to work fine. I'll have to figure that out later. But yeah, folks, another lovely night here at the Comic Book Chronicles. We are post. What happened?
No, nothing.
Oh, I thought you'd raise your hand up for something.
No.
But yeah, so we are post New York Toy Fair, of which we will be talking about at some length later on in the show. But first, we're going to get into the books of the week, starting off with ThunderCats, number 24.
ThunderCats, number 24 is published by Dynamite. It's written by Declan Shalvey with art by David O'Sullivan, colors by Arancia Studio, and letters are by Jeff Eckelberry. So, here's a little story we're about to tell about some ThunderCats that we thought we knew so well. It started way back in history, but with a lot of people you don't necessarily recognize. And I'm sorry to break the rhyme, ad rock MCAMID, but ultimately what we're dealing with here is a trek through the ages and some stuff we didn't necessarily know about the ThunderCats and their history, as told now by the Book of Omens. That's the concept, that's the conceit of this issue's story. And it's following Lion-O basically in conversation with the Sword of Omens and the Book of Omens, and going through the Book of Omens to kind of reveal what had been heretofore unknown to both Lion-O and us, the readers. There's a couple of really cool, fun, and kind of head-scratching reveals during this issue, told during this kind of semi-flashback, because essentially we're reading a book along with Lion-O. And I understand some of the choices. I thought the biggest reveal, the biggest choice was oh, That's an interesting take on this, and I was wondering if this is something that is pre-existing canon that it was just unknown to me.
So first off, shout out to our guy, friend of the show, the Eclectic Blurred Niche, aka Von Gloom, in the chat, who says, "Damn, that's a badass cover." He says ours, but you know, being proper, I got you. And yes, it's the cover's kind of baller. And to answer your question, I'm not entirely sure what specifically you're talking about, but it seemed to me that they may actually be borrowing from, as I've said before, they may be borrowing from the 2011 show just a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. Is
Yeah.
that if this isn't original cartoon canon or even like Star Comics canon,
Right.
that they're borrowing it from another incarnation of the Thundercats. And I'm sorry I don't have the Twitch stream up, so I don't necessarily see this particular chat.
It's all good. Well, no, this is a YouTube chat, but
Oh no, I don't see it in the YouTube chat. I have the YouTube up. Interesting, interesting.
but yeah,
I'll
so
refresh it and see what happens.
yeah, but so yeah, from what like I said, I'm gathering this based on I have no actual knowledge of, you know, of what they're using here, and as far as I know, I mean, you know, I don't think Declan Shalvey has said as much, but I am just going by the stuff I saw in the book, because some of the stuff, you know, like relations to and like some let's put it, there's one particular part of the book in the middle of the book when the story, as it were, gets started, aka, so as Agent 70 said, you know, the sword of Omens is kind of, you know, telling Lionel some lore, basically giving Lionel some lore that he didn't already know about certain things. And like I said, we don't, not to spoil it, things. We also find out a relationship between the sword and the book. That part we'll mention. But yeah, but some of the stuff that gets mentioned, or at least a couple of things that get mentioned during the course of the telling, seem to be coming from the 2011 thing. You know, at least visually, and like I said, a relationship wise, put us or two. So unless they come out and say, yeah, that's, you know, that's exactly where they came from, we don't actually know. We're just still speculating, as it were. So Fugler says, I am conscious, so I will join. We appreciate you as always, good sir. So we know you keep crazy hours like I used to. So
Gotcha. Yeah, all I had to do was switch it from top chat to live chat, and it came, and I was able to see everything. Some silly, you know, automatic YouTube setting.
yeah, that tends to happen. As I call the lore that gets brought up, the lore of omens, which I don't know if, you know, I guess there were a couple of omens that get brought up. And it seems that the book/sword is sending Lionel on a mission back to where he doesn't want to go, which, you know, it was going to end up there at some point. So, and we also apparently...
he has to find Gollum. I mean, you know,
I was going to mention that. Exactly. Yes. Mum Smeagol makes an appearance here as well. Which that continues to still be funny. It was like, you know, we get it. We get it. One came before that. Well, one didn't come before well, one actually did come before the other, but not the way that I was thinking. So therein lies that.
Maybe in pop culture.
Well, yeah, but I feel like even back then there may have been a little bit of influence. Who knows? You know, and when the original cartoon came out, we don't know.
Right.
You willed yourself. So you're Hal Jordan now. You're just willing yourself awake. What's Von Gloom? It's all good, but yeah, like I said, I would say I am going to actually say that ThunderCats 24 is a potential click of the week based on, you know, what is brought up here. And Von Gloom says, I am so blasted behind on ThunderCats, Silverhawk, Space Ghost. You need to get caught up on, at the very least, 2 of the 3 of these. I would say all three, but I'm saying two of the three of those definitely for certainly, because very soon you are going to find out a reason why you need to be caught up with with those.
Right. And what I was referring to is, refers to what we normally refer to as the home of the ThunderCats.
Yes, that
I
also,
think was the big kind of reveal for me.
in fact,
And I was
that
like,
is also
oh,
something that was kind of played within the 2011 thing. Actually.
gotcha. That's
So
what I
yes,
figured.
that specifically, yes, I feel like they did take that one from there. I still don't know for certain.
Sure.
But and matter of fact, Von Gloom, I would say, as if you can, as short as by next week, you might want to get caught up with those particular books. I'm just saying. But I believe that's we've done enough on ThunderCats without spoiling anything. I'm actually thinking about watching that 2011 series again, because I know I watched it, but I don't think I watched the whole thing. Because I believe it did like 22 or 26 episodes, but they were supposed to have another season, and it didn't get picked up or something. But it was some good stuff, like I said, they took some liberties, they played with the lore, they some would say added to also, in a way, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to if it's gonna come back to that ever, especially the way with Warner Brothers is being handled, and passed around. But anyway, we are going to get into the next book that we have in common, which is G.I. Joe number 19.
G.I. Joe number 19.
And knowing is half the battle.
Published by Image, is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Andrea Milana. Colors are by Lee Luffridge and letters are by Russ Wooten. So there's some duplicity afoot, because we've already found out who is the mole on the Joe side of the ledger. And it seems like they're being led into, Admiral Akbar. Where are you?
It's a trap.
It will be at some point. So, that's one aspect of this issue. The other aspect of this issue are the G.I. Joe team learning to cope. Cope is really the proper word to use here. Learning to cope with an Autobot in their midst. And I will hand it off to Roddykat for his take on this issue.
Actually, Von Gloom kind of said something I was probably going to say. Yes, Duke is kind of specious, or as Von Gloom says, Duke is a robophobe. He kind of is. To be fair, and it's not even to be fair, he's got trauma based off of his initial meetings with them. Not just having to do with the fact that these are sentient robots from outer space. But a little bit closer for us. So Duke's kind of got a one-track mind, as tends to happen in these situations. But yeah, he was none at all pleased about finding out the Cybertronian in his midst. If you're watching the video version, the cover kind of almost happens. Pretty much kind of happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Von Gloom, I don't think that language exists in this universe, so that's not. Although it's slightly funny that has gotten around a little bit further than just from Clone Wars,
Right.
So in a couple other places, but yeah, we also find out that actually, I don't want to spoil too much about it, but they bring back a thread that was brought up from another franchise, another particularly connecting franchise that came up in the Energon special from last year.
Yep.
So they're continuing to bring that up, and possibly, maybe, are we going to get a book about that? Don't know, but they seem sure enough to be kind of heading down that road.
Yeah, they're laying the seeds to see that flower at some point, because they are dropping hints at this particular franchise, tying into these other two franchises, kind of using the interaction and the intersection of these two franchises as a natural springboard for this third franchise. It makes sense. Roddykat and I have talked about it before. We've seen it before. I'm not as familiar with this third franchise as maybe he is, but at the same time, I recognize where this can go.
Right. So I feel like at this point they are doing better than what Hasbro and was it Image when they had that whole when they had the G.I. Joe Transformers license. Yes, it was Image. And they tried to make the shared universe back in 2011, 2012, whatever it was. It was before the show.
IDW, you mean?
Wait, was it IDW? Yes, because this is Image in print.
Right.
So yes, IDW. Back in 2015, 2016, so around that part. Actually, it might have been 2013, which is kind of funny. Age of 70. That just reminded me. I saw a copy of Rom versus the Transformers from that era out there.
That's right.
From 2018, and I went and kind of scooped that up because I don't remember. I was collecting those books at the time, but I don't remember reading it. So I went to go. So I went to go check that out. But yes, so that being said, like I said, they seem to be doing a better job with a little bit more cohesive, let's just say, melding of those three properties that the IDW run did try to do. Those the couple of things from the IDW run, that's for certain. But seem to be doing it in a better way. Also, everyone's favorite chameleon, rears his head at the beginning of this, and with his grand plans, and basically starts off another. This would probably be another miniseries if this was on. This would start off another miniseries if this was on television right now. So
right, if it's not the Weather Dominator, it's something else, right?
Right, it's not the BET, it's not the Weather Dominator, it's not the Mass Device, but it is definitely another hunt for things that has started with this issue that everybody's kind of on board with, thanks to the said chameleon, of whom you should know whose name is at this point. Von Gloom says, just glad he didn't call out a clanker. Yeah, Mask feels like an intermediate between, who mentioned Mask? Weird. Between Joe's specialized vehicles and Transformers Minus. Yeah, kind of, but they never did that with the actual toy line initially. It was just its own thing. So, fortunately, I haven't heard any moaning and complaining about the. I did back when in the IDW thing. I don't think. At this point, either the people don't know or don't care, and the people who are here for the Energon universe are pretty much just caring that we're getting good runs of Transformers and G.I. Joe. At least I hope that's the case. I think if anything they're bitching about is the lack of ninjas, more than the whole mask thing. So, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's probably complaining about it, but who cares? F them. Wait, guess she's too good to be the front man of Cole's. Oh, guess he's too good to be the front man of Cole's Slither now. I mean, I feel like even in that one shot, he kind of felt that way, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, who's to say if that may end up coming back into the case after the thing? Maybe they'll do a little side thing of that. It's like, oh no, we're still doing this on the side. Who knows? But yeah, G.I. Joe, good. Another potential click of the week. Another terrible fake country name was in this.
Oh, that was terrible. I groaned.
I know.
I was like, is this the DC universe? What the hell? Wait. I do have a reaction take to this. I was like, what the hell's going on out here? I was like, seriously? That was awful. I groaned. I absolutely groaned.
I know, and I thought about you when I saw it. I was like, yeah, he's gonna have a time with this one, because I did too. But at the same time, though, I mean, let's face it. Look, they had. It's not like this is the first time they've had like bad names for things, but in the original series. So it's not, this is not a new situation. This is just one they're just keeping up with at this point.
Oh my God. Wait, it was a Stan, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Bad Hickistan.
Oh my God.
I wrote it down. I was like, it still doesn't even read well.
Oh my God.
Or
So
Body
bad.
Hickistan. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Right, a Badiki Stan. I think I read
or
that.
something. Yeah.
Oh
so
my God.
either way, it was dumb. But like I said, not the first time for dumb names of something in this universe. So,
Oh my God.
or even in the original series. Oh, Von Gloop says it still beats the original. See, this is what I'm talking about. It still beats the original Transformers racist names like Carbomia. Yes, it is that bad. But again, that's the exact thing I was talking about. They've had terrible names since '84.
I don't remember that. I'm
I
gonna be
do.
glad I don't remember that. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, it was one of the later like it wasn't like the first handful of episodes. It was like later when they were already kind of on Earth and kind of getting into stuff, know, and all the newer, the bunch of newer bots and whatever came through.
Got it.
Probably around the same time as well, no. And just going to because I was thinking it was like I was gonna say Autobot City, but not that one. It was the one where Cold Sliver kind of plays.
Oh my God.
Around that episode, I can't remember the name of it, but either way, I feel like I want to go back. So before the show, I went out there to check the YouTube streaming channel for G.I. Joe to see what episode was those, and I was telling Age of 70, and I kind of want to do that to see which on the Transformers channel, but I'm not going to do that because I'll screw up stuff. But
Right. So according to Von Gloom, it was the episode with the aerial bots. Okay.
yes, was that the one where they went undercover? I think that is the one where they went undercover, and a couple of them got dismantled to go undercover because somebody was stealing jets for whatever reason. Yep, it is that one. It's scary that I actually remember that one. I hadn't seen that one in a minute. So, I do remember the episode quite plainly. Yeah, everything. We will talk about that later on too, because Tubi's got pretty much everything at this point. But like I said, we'll talk about that later. So, last thing I'm gonna say about G.I. Joe before we push on real quickly, a certain usual mercenary for hire for Cobra comes into play at the end of this, and how do you track down a tracker? You send them to a NASCAR. You meet them at a NASCAR event, and that's all we will. That's all I will say about that until next issue. And the next issue that we will. Yes, I do remember all of that. It's weird. And like I said, I hadn't seen that one in a minute. But I said the next book that we are going to talk about is Black Panther 60th anniversary. Why do I have that number there? 60th anniversary special number 1 shot.
All right, the Black Panther 60th anniversary special number 1 shot. All right, bear with me, folks. There are four. Well, there's really like there's 4 stories because one is the bracket story, and there are the 3 stories that are told in between the 2 brackets. The beginning and ending. So the first story, which is the bracket story, is written by Evan Narcisse with pencils by George Jeanty. Inks are by Dexter Vine. Colors are by Rochelle Rosenberg, and letters are by VC's Corey Petit. The second story is written by Cody Ziegler with art by Aletha Martinez. Colors are by Andrew Dollhouse. Letters are by VC's Corey Petit. The third story is written by Murewa Ayodele. Art is by Ader Macias. Colors are by Federico Blee. And letters are by VC's Corey Petit. The fourth story in the sequence is written by Christopher Priest, going by Priest. Art is by Javier Pina. Colors are by Federico Blee, and letters again are by VC's Corey Petit. So, as I said, the concept here is that there's a beginning and ending frame story, and the framework of the story is Casper Cole going on an adventure because he's on the search for T'Challa, because T'Challa is nowhere to be found to perform his princely / kingly / leaderly duties, right? Ultimately, he's got to do some searching, and the searching takes him to lots of familiar places and interactions with very familiar characters, and ultimately, the story ends in a nice little wrap-up way. But I'll hand it off to Roddykat for his thoughts on this.
And speaking of ultimately, yes, one of the stories does have to do with one of his ultimate teammates and Blue Marvel and Marco Chavez, who pops in, or at least we see her mention, or we see and hear her mention. But yeah, it's kind of it's a cool story. One of these, because once you get one of these stories where, like Agent 70 said, there's the brackets, and then the stories within the story, which are either flashbacks or someone telling the story of whatever the subject may be, or about or they're in. It kind of gets to that point. So Von Gloom. So before I get to what I was going to say, Von Gloom says George Jonty is an OG. I remember drawing Wolverine back in the day, and asks, did Casper Cole get darker? I think he was already. I don't remember him being light skinned. So therein lies that for me. So I don't know if that's the case, but it could have been just an artistic choice. But yeah, like Agent 70 said, you see Casper Cole, who is not as stealthy as he thinks he is, clearly, because every time he tries to go stealthy, somebody's like, I can see you. Like, what are you even doing? So I don't know. But regardless, as he's going through the thing, we see, I don't know if Evan Narcisse is from Bed-Stuy, but there is an often quoted phrase from Bed-Stuy that is brought into play here. Or I don't know if this was kind of around the part where he was where the Cody Ziegler story was about to come in, but I think it was still the bracket part of the story. Which was kind of funny to see. I know I got two New Yorkers right here in the vicinity, and I'm pretty sure neither one of them would say this phrase. So therein lies that. But yeah, like I said, you see, of course, Blue Marvel with the Ultimates. You see, Storm pop up because their history, and a trip through recent history and past. Yep, that's the one, Von Gloom. That is the one. Although they flipped it, And the thing that kind of struck me is like, wait, when there was a part where he goes to Alaska, and we know what's going on there, and we will probably talk about that a little bit later. I'm sure Agent 70 will either. It was like, wait, what business does he have here? But we get to see who he's going to see prior to actually going there. But it was still kind of weird to kind of see that. It was like, had he had recent history with the X folks over there, or this was just, clearly it was just because of what the story needed to say. And also the last story, which was the Priest story, was that's funny. What's wrong with Brownsville? Don't you like MOP?
No.
Von Gloom? But anyway, and of course we go back to Priest's definitive run with his story. And actually, I think Priest has been going by just Priest for a second now, because I think even in his Priest in his DC stuff, it's just been in Priest. I'm not sure, but I think we just all been calling him that anyway. So maybe he just decided to adopt it, or something.
What I was going to say is, he definitely uses that here and there, at least from my recollection of his credits. Right. So I think it's just it just depends.
Right. So,
But I made sure to just say, hey, you know what? Going by Priest in this issue, but we know it's Christopher Priest,
right.
which is really just James Owsley.
Well, no one calls him that anymore, but unless you're just being a certain way.
Well, unless we're citing a particular piece of work that we remember him writing with that, under
right
his
back
name.
in the day when he was actually using that name. Yeah.
Exactly.
So the funny part about the Priest story though was I knew it was his story before getting to that point, because when the art style changed, I was like, okay, yep, this is clearly going to be the Priest story here.
There you go.
So it was like, all right, here we go, let's go. But overall, like I said, for an anniversary issue, it's pretty good. I think you can't expect a whole lot of these, and it's not like anything, as far as we know, anything in this story is going to go into anything further, because as far as we know, like the Intergalactic Empire was mentioned because of one of the stories. All of the stories are set in. Well, all of the stories, with the exception of 2, were set in like current continuity. I mean, not current, but current continuity. So the other 2 were just like, hey, this is stuff that could have possibly happened in the past, or did happen in the past apparently, but we never saw. So what was I gonna say? That's pretty much that. So like I said, there's not a whole lot to expect out of these anniversary issues outside of like, hey, here's some stuff about the character. Long may they, they put this stuff together. So if you're a fan of Black Panther and you want to celebrate the 60th anniversary, sure, you can pick this up if you want to. There's a good chance I will, but that's just me. So you don't have to follow.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between on. I'm a little in between on this one, because there's a couple of, there's a couple of strong stories, and the balance is kind of the determining factor. The determining factor. Right.
And definitely, we'll go ahead and slightly spoil this one. Definitely, the strongest story is the third one, which has to do with a certain current member of the X-Folks. That's a lot of times has been the bad guy over the course of the history. So you can figure out who that is, I think. But
yeah, it's Juggernaut. No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Nice. Funglip says, I am not built to survive Brownsville at night. Well, as long as you know. As long as you know. Next up, what we will talk about. Coincidentally, T'Challa has been a member of this group. But and that is Fantastic Four, number 8.
Fantastic Four number 8 is written by Ryan North with pencils by Humberto Ramos. Inks are by Victor Olathaba. Colors are by Edgar Delgado. Letters are by our favorite lettering python, the hardest working letterer over at Virtual Calligraphy VC's Joe Caramagna. So we have a story told from a particular perspective. This particular perspective is why this distress call from Galactus was even made. I thought this was a very interesting take on an origin story. I thought that this is a very interesting alternate viewpoint of what could have been the road not taken by one of the main characters in the Fantastic Four. And, this is a very effective issue to set up what I initially thought was going to go in a very different direction, given who is captured or who's depicted on the cover. And with that, I will hand it off to Roddykat for his thoughts on this story.
So, and actually on that point, and I kind of agree with 8 to 70, because yes, the story starts off and you're thinking, okay, so we're just getting more backstory, explanation as to Sue's expansion of her power set, or exploration and expansion of her power set, and it still serves as that. However, as we find out, it definitely does go in a different direction, as you read through the story, which is, and we're also getting that good old fashioned body horror that Ryan North has put in every now and then. But we also, like I just said, we do get back to the which brings us back to the space trip and why they're initially out there in the first place. And yes, as Von Gloom says, that person is back. I mean, it's on the cover, it's right there. The funny part for me for this issue was that Galactus was channeling Yamcha. And if you know, you know. So, the way he was kind of sitting or laying out, he just.
Oh, was he? I gotta look at it again.
It kind of felt like they were kind of channeling that. It's not exactly that, but it was kind of. It was not too far off. For the way they had him laid out. But yeah, so next issue we will find out why the hell Malice is back. and I guess I assume what dimension or wherever she came from to get to this point.
Yeah, like it's not exactly that character, but it's definitely meant to evoke that character.
The entity, definitely, yes.
Yeah.
So, but I suspect, like I said, there's probably more to it than what we've just got, what we got in this issue. But going to the chat, Von Gloom says, I still want to hold down Johnny and shave off his Shia LaBeouf mustache. I'm sure this alternate version of Malice probably would have done that. I'm sure. Matter of fact, I don't actually. You know what? I now need to go back and look in that piece because that might have been a determining thing whether this was an alternate universe or not, because I don't remember if Johnny had the porn stash there also. But I think he probably did though. So I think they kept it continuously close just kind of obfuscate.
No, yeah, it was my interpretation that because they put in an explanation as to why this was. Like a variant or another reality.
Right.
They put it in right at the end.
Right. So and yes, Yamcha will never live that down. He's not beating the allegations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, because it happened in 4K, as the kids would say. And now that I've exhausted my current slang, we are going to move to the last book that we have in common, which it is sad to see this book go, and I will mention something that I said prior to the show in elsewhere. But Ultimate Spider-Man number 24.
Ultimate Spider-Man number 24 is written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Marco Cacchetto and David Messina. Colors are by Matthew Wilson, and letters are by VC's Corey Petit. So this is the final issue of Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. And we get, to me, a very nice wrap-up issue. It doesn't end things, as, we're still kind of led to believe that the Ultimate Universe isn't necessarily ending. So these characters are reaching the story's end in their respective like solo or separate issues, but at least the Ultimate Universe may live to tell another tale or tales. But we'll see where all that goes. But when it comes to this book, I think this is definitely a candidate for Click of the Week for me, as was Fantastic Four number 8. Ultimate Spider-Man number 24 tells no pun intended, a fantastic tale. And I really enjoyed the almost what if nature of this story to people who had a particular attachment to a period in Spider-Man's life where had certain things stayed a certain way, could have followed the path of this story, right? Almost to like a natural point. But, since that's not how it's gone, it's kind of cool to see this Ultimate Spider-Man, this version of Ultimate Spider-Man, being a cool little what if take on the story. Roddykat, what did you think?
I agree with everything you said, because actually, and that brings me to the point that I was going to make about that, because so right before the stream, real quick, I went to I was on watching somebody else's stream. Name is Bruv Steel. You should check him out sometimes. But last week, or a few days ago, around Valentine's Day, he was talking about couples in the comic book world. And of course, the last one, not to spoil that, his last stream, or last stream from a few days ago, was Peter and MJ. And of course, him being a Spider-Man fan was also kind of upset about the fact that how Marvel's treating them in their relationship, or lack thereof, in the 616. Also hates Paul, which, you know what? We bonded. So that going into tonight, I basically, after I finished Ultimate Spider-Man, I saw he was streaming, I basically went in there, not spoiling anything. It was like, and said, this week's Ultimate Spider-Man continues to make me pissed off as to how Marvel is treating Peter and MJ's relationship in the 616. Mm-hmm. Because like everybody just said, like, yes, it caps off things perfectly, even though it is not technically the end of the story, which, as far as I know, because I don't know if Ultimate X-Men also ended like this, but I assume if it was going the way of this and Ultimate Black Panther, they all pretty much ended in a way as to say, yeah, the book is ending, but the stories are still going. They're still out there somewhere in the universe, and I assume we're going to see some of that as the universe itself is plotting to end in the next couple of months, with the books that are coming out around surrounding that. But yeah, I very much enjoyed it, and like I said, it still pisses me off that Marvel's like, you could have just had this in the goddamn Prime universe, or a version of this where there was but no, you had to do the can't be married, you hate MJ, whatever. It's so,
I mean, I get it. Listen, I get it.
No, I don't get it.
Right, I do get it, but I think this is almost proof of concept, right? Mm-hmm. That they could have gone in this direction, and as much as I hate multiverses, I hate crises on 50,000 infinite Earths. I hate it. But there's times when I understand why. You want to have these multiple universes and multiple realities and multiple versions of characters so that you can allow them to grow organically as opposed to staying very static. No pun intended. No hate. No shots fired at Static Shock, right?
Right.
So,
right.
At the end of the day, like I get it. I get why they want to, keep, a certain status quo, to let characters and stories stay to a certain extent evergreen, right? That's why we had a series of shows that were evergreen and not constantly evolving with the times and with the storylines, right? I get that, but there's times when I see this and it just frustrates me, because we could have gotten something like this. How long it would have taken to evolve to this point, I don't know. Like, especially if it was going to go organically, or if we were going to observe something like a rubber band timeline, So, it's those are decisions that are very hard to make.
The blueprint is right here, like you said. I'm still going to I'm gonna double down on the fact there's no excuse on all other factors that Marvel, and they've come out and said they don't want to have Peter. They don't want Peter and MJ to get back together, get married again, X, Y, and all that Z and stuff.
Right.
Partially because they want to keep Peter relatable. What's more relatable than getting married? To some folks, anyway. Not everybody, but to some folks. Getting married, having children is the most relatable thing in life for a lot of people. So what? And he can still be that, but I don't know. It's still dumb. Regardless, the blueprint is right there, and Marvel's being stupid. Especially freaking Paul. I mean, that's also that.
Oh God! Why did
forcing
you
that
have to
on us.
bring that up?
Well, like I said, it came up. It came up last week, and it's going to come up until somebody mercifully kills them off or whatever the case may be. But back to Ultimate Spider-Man. Yes, like I said, this is pretty much cleaning up some of the plot threads that's been going on through the course of this book. So some folks get dealt with, and or deal with themselves in a certain case. Surprisingly enough, I will spoil this. A person that I expected, or a person, I would say a person that I expected to not live through this lives through the whole thing. So now, granted, that being said, it is also the fact that the other parental unit didn't.
Right.
So, but still, I still kind of halfway expected. I still kind of have expected that to be the case. But hey, man, I'm proud of you, Ben. Proud of you. You made it through. It's kind of spidey there for a second, but good on him. Shout out to Hickman for not killing him. But that's pretty much that, and we do end off with Peter getting another bit of news and kind of going forward from there. And if this universe wasn't ending, this would be great. Unless they plan on doing something where it's like, oh yeah, the universe ending, but we're still gonna kind of have some stories in between that. Maybe. I doubt it very seriously, and that also depends on whether Hickman's gonna want to continue to do it also. Because from what we know, like, yeah, he has his start, he has his end. He wants to get off. He'll get off when he gets off the book. So don't know that part. Regardless, Ultimate Spider-Man, as we can say for the last time, has been a great run. Has been a great book. Definitely potential click of the week. And you know what? Someone came out good, and it was Richard. Also came out good in this for what happened to them. So therein lies that, and that ends the books that we have in common. Let's get into a little bit of rapid fire.
All right, here we go. Rapid fire review time, folks. Here we go.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Alrighty, first up for me is Absolute Batman, number 17, published by DC Comics. It's written by Scott Snyder with guest art by Eric Knett. Colors are by Frank Martin and letters are by Clayton Cowell. So, this is a very Poison Ivy-centric issue. And, that's really been a focus of Absolute Batman, which is making these villain-centric issues or villain-centric arcs very much just really solid storytelling, but still weaving in some of the overarching story of Bruce Wayne and his best friends becoming becoming his rogues gallery. That's kind of the conceit here. So while there's still this external villain, this external force that's acting upon Batman in the form of Poison Ivy, we still have the ongoing story of his best friend circle becoming his rogues gallery. Next up is The Amazing Spider-Man number 22, published by Marvel. Of course, it's written by Joe Kelly, with art by Nick Bradshaw, Todd Nauck, and Nathan Stockman. Inks on this book are by Scott Hanna. Colors are by Marte Gracia and Rochelle Rosenberg, and letters are by our favorite lettering paisan, VC's Joe Caramagna. This issue finds Peter Parker picking up the pieces after his return in the previous issue from space. And, he's catching up. No, he's catching up on life, on all the things that went bad, that had to be put aside, ignored, because he had to be in space, trying to get quote unquote stronger. And, it's kind of a weird issue because we've got Peter trying to pick up the pieces and clean up all of the messes that were left behind and still need to be taken care of. So there isn't that much resolution in this issue, but we do, reconnect with the supporting cast of Amazing Spider-Man, and we kind of connect the two supporting casts, between those who are kind of remaining with Peter from his space voyages, and with the crew that was tasked with kind of maintaining his image and or holding down the fort in his absence on Earth. Next up is Captain America #7. It's written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Delio Diaz and Frank Alpizar. Colors are by Romulo Fajardo, and letters, again, are by our favorite lettering paisan, VC's Joe Caramagna. So the Red Hulk is exerting, or at least trying to exert, some force, trying to, intervene in Latveria on behalf of the U.S. government, the government. However, Captain America and his handy-dandy troop of his handy-dandy group of agents from the newly reconstituted SHIELD, they, make their way to Latveria, and they see things are a quagmire. And this quagmire is going to be continuing for several issues. So this is really the beginning of, kind of diving deep into the issues of Latveria post One World Under Doom. Next up for me is Deadly Hands of Kunlun #1. It's written by Yifan Jiang. Art is by Paco Medina. Colors are by CC De La Cruz, and letters are by VC's Corey Petit. Roddykat, I don't believe, has read this yet.
Nope.
And I think he'll be happy and yet unhappy at the same time, because that is just the situation when it comes to dealing with Iron Fist stuff in the Marvel universe. So there is a prominent role for one of his favorite Iron Fists. There is a prominent role for my least favorite Iron Fist, and possibly Roddykat's least favorite Iron Fist. And I think my biggest beef with this is that Yifan Jiang decided to, at least for now, do something that kind of hit me a little bit hard. Not that I have a lot of attachment to these characters, but I did read them when they were introduced in the first run of Immortal Iron Fist by Matt Fraction and Ed Brubaker. And a lot of these characters seemingly bite the bullet, kick the bucket in this issue. And I'm like, damn, we're cleaning house just so that we can have Lin Lei, as the prominent character. Fuck Lin Lei. Sorry. But I read this issue, we'll see where this goes, but I am not a fan of the current Iron Fist. Right?
So,
but
yeah,
that, forgive my language, folks.
That's fine. Chances are in the audio version it'll be. But I was going to say they had been, like, even the last couple of times that they have been around, they had kind of been not necessarily pairing them off couple wise, but pairing off Pei and then Lai for the last couple of times we've seen them together. They've been kind of setting that up. So if that's continuing to be what's happening here, yes, that's kind of disappointing. So,
and obviously, the cover doesn't exactly happen, but the current status of Danny Rand is also addressed and definitely is incorporated into the story. That's fine, right? But I just don't like Lin Lei, so he can go fuck himself. Anyway. Next up is Uncanny X-Men #24. It's written by Gail Simone with art by David Marquez. Colors are by Matthew Wilson, and letters are by VC's Clayton Cowles. Check this out. This issue of Uncanny is really awesome, right? it's told in kind of parallel stories, right? We've got you know, a group of Marvel monsters looking to take over New Orleans, right? And you know, they got to go through the X-Men, the Louisiana X-Men to do it. It's still funny to say, but at the same time, the young mutants that the Louisiana X-Men are training are being entertained by one of the hosts of you know, one of the hosts of the hosts that live in the house that they're all kind of staying in, right? And the way they're being entertained is that what they're being entertained by is they're being told a story, and the way that story is being integrated into the comic book and the storytelling in it is so good, so good. I almost wish that was the book that I was reading. That was the entire book that I was reading. Except now we're dealing with these Marvel monsters, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. We'll deal with them too, right? But I definitely am on board with Gail Simone on her run of Uncanny. I did see that regular adjectiveless X-Men is out this week. I did not get to it. I read a lot of books this week, as you can hear from my list so far. So, you know, I'll hopefully have a chance to catch up on that and see what's going on in adjectiveless post Age of Revelation, now in the shadows of tomorrow. Last but not least.
Wait.
Yes.
Question. Does the cover, does any part of the cover happen? Because apparently Jubilee can't stay away from vampires.
It's not, no spoiler alert, but that is implied. Let's just say threatened. That situation is threatened.
Just child, get away from the vamps. You didn't you have enough for 10 years or however long you were a vampire?
Right, but there's an explanation for her lack of self-defense there.
Sure, and
Right.
I'd assume it has to do with her prior history. I would assume.
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay. Von Gloom says real quick, the monsters should go to New Jersey where they belong. No, we don't want Kamala dealing with that.
Just stay in Florida. That's where they should all go.
Yeah, really.
No,
you know, no offense to my people in Florida, but yeah.
I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, last but not least for me is Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon #1. It's written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Luca Maresca. Colors are by Jesus Bertov and letters are by VC's Joe Sabino. So we have here the beginnings of a prologue event, Weapons of Armageddon, and we have no, that's the wrong Wolverine cover. That's the cover for the regular issue of Wolverine that's out this week. Did you catch that?
There we go.
All right. So, you know, this issue, like I said, is the precursor story to, I guess, the new Armageddon story that's going to be the big crossover for the summer. And in this issue, we have like some backstory, some flashbacks for Wolverine, and some pre-Weapon X stuff that he went through, but now he's dealing with some current event stuff. And yeah, there's, the gist of it is that some military industrial complex company is looking to recreate the Weapon X program. That's the gist of it.
Of course.
That's the basics of it. And, obviously things don't go well for those people. They don't have the best of intentions. And Wolverine's looking to cut all that stuff off. And that's it for me.
Probably literally.
Yes, exactly. No pun intended.
To Von Gloom asks, Namor's X is alive? Yes, it appears apparently so. Does Namor know? We don't think so. I don't think so anyway. So, because I have seen shades of, I'm assuming you were talking about that last cover I have up, but I did see something about it. I was like, yeah, apparently she's alive, and I'm like, I'm not sure how or when did that happen. And I don't think he knows. So, I mean, maybe after his dealings with the New Avengers, which I didn't get a chance to read this week, maybe he'll find out. Who knows? But I was going to say really quick. Also, going back to Absolute Batman, you know, and another reason why we have parallel universes is to tell stories that, you know, they won't or can't, most likely won't, in the Prime universe. So that's why you have, you know, Batman and Catwoman married in an Elseworlds book, instead of what they initially did because people were pissy and dumb and sending death threats. And also Peter and MJ married in the Ultimate Universe, and actually the one run of Batman that I would actually read again is Batman White Knight, which is an alternate story. So, you know, you can get good stories all in the alternate universe stuff, you know, that you kind of wish they were actual canon or in the Prime universe they're in. So it's sad, but, you know, at least we get them. That being said, the first book for myself, and if I could remember how the thing goes, I would tell it. But it's time to bring the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time for the Muppets Noir. Yeah, you didn't think it was going to go there, did you? Written, art, and lettered by Roger Langridge, and colors by Dirbia Kelly. So, and this is from Dynamite Studios and Dynamite Entertainment, in case you wanted to know about that. I don't know if this is a miniseries. I tried to check, or this is just a series, or it's just going to go when it doesn't, until it doesn't. But the premise does seem like it's like, nah, this is definitely going to have a start and an end. So if this is the limited series, they're not showing it. Regardless, so backstage at the Muppet Show, Kermit's in a frenzy because, you know, they're kind of doing things. It's basically, hey, it's behind the scenes of the Muppet Show things. You know, Kermit's frazzled. You know, things are going on. You know, the regular craziness that goes on in backstage at the Muppet Show. With partial help from Scooter and an accidental prank that's going wrong, Kermit gets thrown into a noir story. Again, if you want to know why that happens, you know, and it's the Muppets. Come on, you can figure kind of how things have been happening. Kermit gets thrust into a noir story where he has to find the niece of a pie magnate. And the funny part about it is the detective that Kermit is playing in the story doesn't like pie. Who doesn't like pie? What's wrong here? But there's reasoning for it. There's backstory for it, which we find out here. But of course, the usual suspects and a few others kind of show up in this story. Muppets show up in this story. That is actually going to continue with another issue. Again, I don't know how many issues this is going to be, but it definitely does get to a place. The funny part about this issue, outside of just Muppet shenanigans already, is, like I said, he's going to look for somebody that apparently he's been seeing the whole time, here and there, but apparently just, you know, and kind of makes note of it. But, you know, it's true Muppet fashion. It goes on here, but it was a fun read, and I will probably continue to check it out for as long as it goes, or at least the next couple of issues to see where it goes, I guess. It also kind of funny. It was like at the beginning, it was like, yeah, Kermit's kind of frazzled because he's trying to come up with a new show, which, you know, if that revival show is any indication, it was like, you know, I feel like some of that could have been kind of spilled out from there, but it would, you know, I haven't seen the thing, 1 and 2, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this was in that same vein or same, you know, they just took this from that. So we'll see what happens with the story though. Next up, Star Trek: The Last Starship #5. Written by former guests of the show, Jackson Lanzinger and Colin Kelly. Art by Adrian Bonella. Colors by Lee Luffridge. And letters by Clayton Cowles. So, I feel like I might still, even though I've read the last issue, I probably still need to go back and read because I feel like I'm missing a little something from this. Or I might not be, because it's kind of one of those things. So we see the crew at some conference, which weirdly looks like the chambers of the Imperial Senate from Star Wars, but just a weird version of it. They're there for a reason because, given the shape of the galaxy after the burn, things are not right and everybody needs something. But ultimately, like Sato's kind of there speaking, and he has a friend that's there that's kind of amongst the delegation, representing the what's left of the Federation. And of course, things happen in true Star Trek fashion especially when it comes to conferences, whether it be intrigue and just somebody coming to screw it up. So, and both of those things happen in this. The Captain Sato pretty much references when Harry met Sally. And yes, that line I'm talking about, but a kind of a different version of it, which was kind of funny. And I think I was assuming that was intentional, but not really, and folks are kind of in a way, partially because of the Borg still coming back into play and what happened with that. So, and we got the ship's doctor who is a Ferengi, which is weird in itself. He always stays high. Is kind of involved with this part of the story for reasons, and might have his own thing to kind of be dealing with in relation to. But like I said, you can cue Akbar because things again go in the most Star Trek way, and also thank you very much. A new potential group is introduced. If you've been reading the last few Star Trek books, actually written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, there's a group that is usually rounded about that is either a color and a thing. And in this particular case, they just introduced another one. So go figure. I'm not saying that that's a thing, but it is a thing. But yes, it continues to be a good book though. Next up and last for me is, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Nexus number 5. And I'm just going to go ahead and say 5, even though it didn't say that. But the story is by Tom Walt, Paul Allore, Sophie Campbell, Caleb Goldner, and Eric Burnham, presumably because I guess it's pulling from all of their stories, I assume. I don't know for sure. But the script was done by Eric Burnham, who I guess is the one who's actually writing the story. Art by Ben Bates. Wow, that's got a lot of typos. Wow. Colors by Luis Antonio Delgado and Ben Bates. And did I really not put the lettering? I did not put the lettering in that, but I will pull that up in a second. So yeah, so this is basically, hey, the turtles got thrown into a battle world of sorts, and they are fighting folks that they have known, and or versions of folks that they know during this whole thing. Well, it all pretty much has come down to this, and one crash out by the person who put all this together, who was a foe of the turtles, of this continuity, presumably, or just a foe of the turtles in general, and just wanted to put this together to get rid of them. And again, you see a lot of folks from Turtles Past, and multiple versions of some classic adversaries of theirs shows up, or hench folk of theirs shows up in this, and a person that kind of looks like they stole Galactus's helmet. If you know Turtle lore and you know who that is, you probably know the who that is. But yeah, like I said, it all comes down to this. There's a couple of epilogues where things kind of get back to normal and whatnot. And one of those potential folks who I think is a person of who's been in, let's just say, various versions of the Turtles in the past, one including the Archie Comics version, might have gotten a glow up, or not necessarily a glow up, but has come back in and might be in the current universe right now because of what happens in this. So we may see this person again. I'm not sure. But it was a fun story, and you know, it ended like you would think it would. The Turtles kind of came out on top, and everything kind of, even though it was kind of touch and go there for a second. But you know, this is definitely something that might probably read better in trade if you are interested in this. Although part of it, if you are not like really deep into Turtles lore, may not make a little bit of sense. But I feel like if you know parts of the 80s cartoon and that the last run, the last volume of the Turtles, and a couple of here dispersed in here and there, you should be all right, I think. Because I don't know where the big bad comes from also, but I think he's probably from that run. I don't know. I'm actually more tempted to kind of read that last volume, because especially with what the current book that we have been reading keeps kind of bringing up. But anyway, that's that. Those are my books. Kliqs of the week.
Kliqs of the week. You have your candidates, or do you have a clear choice?
I have my candidates. Oh yeah, I forgot something. Pardon me. G.I. Joe number 19, that's one of them. ThunderCats number 24 is one of them. As I sit here and try to find that cover. There we go. Thank you. Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. Also, definite potential. Click right there. And did I have another one? No, we'll leave it at that. But for FF, Fantastic Four.
Sure,
it's probably in there.
Two of those are two of those are candidates of mine. That those being Fantastic Four number 8 and Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. I think I'll also throw in Uncanny X-Men number 24, as well as I'll go with ThunderCats number 24 as another candidate for Click of the Week. But I've already got my choice.
Okay, go for it.
Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. That is my choice for Click of the Week this week.
Yeah, and not a bad one to go. Good to go with. So, like it came in with a bang, it went out with a bang. So I am not mad at that choice at all. I mean, not that it wouldn't matter whether it was or not, but because we go, you know, we don't judge people's choices too harshly here, folks. Okay, sometimes we do. Depends on the choice. But yeah, like I kind of want to go with that one as well, but
Well, Roddykat now has the option to use my choice to balance out his choices.
I do. It's true, and I love it when that happens. I love that for me. To invoke some more slang, current slang. It's definitely not that one. It's definitely not that. You know what? It's, while that is one of them, it's either going to be G.I. Joe or ThunderCats, honestly. And at this point, I feel like, because the ThunderCats was revelatory, and we enjoyed that when that happens, and actually more questions is going to come out because of that. But I think I'm going to go with G.I. Joe number 19.
Nice.
You know, I part of me kind of feels like, you know what, I should probably wait, because there is a meeting that is coming up that we didn't talk about that I am very curious about. In fact, I kind of wish the meeting that I'm thinking about would have happened in this issue, would have been the meeting that happened in this issue. But you know, hey, I'm not writing the book, and it was probably done for a very good reason. That being said, we are going to go into the news section, but first, an ad read.
Our first ad read of the night is for Funko, Fun at First Sight. It's your home for exclusive collectibles such as their world-famous pop vinyl bobbleheads, apparel including t-shirts, hats, and socks, and brand merchandise such as their custom DIY pop figures, art books, and skateboards. And now the listeners of the Comic Book Chronicles can enjoy 10% off your entire purchase when shopping at Funko. To place your first order with 10% off and to help keep our show free for you, go to our network website at cspn.us. That's cspn.us. Then click on the Keep Our Podcast Free link at the top of the page. From there, scroll down to the Funko link and place your order. When you get to the checkout, put in the offer code SHOP10 for your 10% off discount. Funko through cspn.us. Do it today. And now we get into the news.
Cinematic news is what we do about this time. I should probably keep that in my pocket, but we're not. And we got a lot of news. Like I said earlier, Toy Terror Fair happened. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So, Marvel releases Wonder Man movie trailer and behind-the-scenes video of its making. Of course, this is probably going to be on Disney Plus, or as Agent 70 says, Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Marvel Studios has released a retro-style teaser trailer for the fictional 80s in-universe Wonder Man movie, featured within the series itself. And of course, it goes into who's involved in that. And, you know, stuff here, and there's the other, and there's, if you're watching the video version, you can see, a post from Marvel Studios with Daniel Dutton Creighton, with the person that plays Wonder Man in that fictional thing. So there it is. And yeah, you can check that out. Like I said, I presume that is on Disney Plus. It doesn't exactly say here, but it's definitely out there on Instagram. So you can, if you follow Marvel Studios and Marvel on Instagram and Twitter, then I'm pretty sure you would have seen that by now or passed it by. Next up.
Alrighty, next up, Warner Brothers Discovery eyes renewed discussions with Paramount Skydance after its latest bid. The studio has signed a sales agreement with Netflix, but the Warner Brothers Discovery Board feels the urgency from shareholders to engage after a significant change in Paramount's latest offer. Wow, what the hell is going on? Warner Brothers Discovery board is leaning toward re-engaging with Paramount Skydance on the revised terms of Paramount's offer to acquire the entire company. This is the 9th since last year, includes a premium ticking fee for Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders of about $650 million for every quarter that the Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery nuptials are not completed by December 31st, 2026. Paramount Skydance released its latest pitch to Warner Brothers Discovery and to investors on February 10th. Word of the Warner Brothers Discovery Board's inclinations was first reported this past Sunday by Bloomberg News. So we'll see what happens. There's a ticking clock, obviously.
Yeah, it continues. It continues on. I'm just, for the video people, I'm just going to pop this up here. It might show up next week. It probably won't, but I'm just saying, there's an article some of y'all might be interested in as I go to the next story. But also, hey, if you see the cops or ICE, Warner Brother. Shout out to those old t-shirts. Hasbro celebrates Transformers the movie 40th anniversary. Let that sink in there for a second. With an apology tour. So basically, they're putting they're putting Transformers the movie back into theaters so you can traumatize folks once yet again. It's great. That makes total sense. But also, there's more news that comes along with this, as I shared in our back channel. There was the announcement of a Matrix of Leadership, which we'll be talking about more later on. I should probably just talk about it now because actually, you know what? I think I will. Hold on a second because we might as well.
He just can't wait.
Well, it's not that, but it makes more sense to do this now. Than, you know what? I'll wait because I don't feel like rifling through these tabs. But yes, so there's some other. So there's a few toy announcements, including a Matrix of Leadership that plays the touch when you open it up, and you have to charge it up by USB. But like I said, we will get to that a little later on in the show. So actually, what is this? When is this going to happen? It's going to be soon, definitely. So yeah, the Apology Tour happened. The Matrix Leadership. Hasbro Pulse will host a. Oh wait, yeah. So there's some other toy stuff. There's going to be a Hasbro Pulse live stream on. Well, that already happened on the 15th. And pre-orders went live for the 16th and 17th. I'm trying to see when the movie is coming back into, because it did say. And the other reason why I'm not going to talk about the Matrix right now is because you know what, it's too late, folks. But yeah, it's gonna be back in theaters, but I'm not seeing a when. And I could have sworn I saw an article that showed when that's going to happen. So when we find out the dates of that, then we will let you know.
Or it's probably just in a different article.
I don't think so. Well, I mean, it was a different article that I saw, but I thought it was in this article as well. So I don't know. Regardless, next up.
1 second. Netflix. Oh, God.
The one he
So
groused
bad.
about before
I'm
the
just
show, folks. He gets it. I love it.
Right. That's just the way it goes. Netflix boards Sydney Sweeney's live action Gundam movie. Right. So, per Deadline, insider sources have reported that Netflix is set to serve as the live action Gundam film's leading distributor, which means Gundam has its sights set on Netflix as its ultimate streaming home. Likely. That's presumably. Neither the streaming giant nor Legendary Pictures offered any comment on that matter. First announced back in 2021, the live-action Gundam film from Legendary Pictures is set to be written and directed by Jim Mickle, best known for We Are What We Are. Let's see, originally Jordan Vogt Roberts was signed on to helm the project back in November. Let's see. So it looks like Sydney Sweeney's on board for this, as well as Noah Centineo and Drew Starkey and singer-songwriter Benson Boone. I'm just like,
Who?
so.
Yeah, the Benson Boone thing was a new one for me, and yeah. Yeah, so there you go, folks. I know we had talked about this previously, but apparently this is more confirmation that thing's still going. And as Von Gloom says in the chat, tomatoes. Tomatoes. Boo, tomatoes. I don't have that sound effect, but, y'all know it if y'all know it. Next up, here's something I alluded to earlier. Tubi is added classic Cartoon Network shows, including Animaniacs, Dexter's Lab, and many more. And I say that because I saw the initial post on Twitter about this. It is a long list, folks. If you're watching the video version, you can kind of see it. I'll just go through a couple of them. So Ben 10, of course, Pinky the Brain, Justice League, Batman the Brave and Bold, Dexter's Lab, Ed, and Eddie, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Teen Titans, the aforementioned Animated X, Codename Kids Next Door, Yogi's Gang, Astro and the Space Months. They need to put Space Stars on there if they're going to do that, because that doesn't make any sense to have that one and not have space stars, because I don't see no Hercules or Teen Force on here. Captain Caveman, Captain Planet, Cow and Chicken, Dragon Slayer, that old 80s joint. The Dukes of Hazzard animated series. And yes, folks, there was one. Because I remember it. Dynamite, Dog Wonder, Flintstones Kids, Grape Ape, Hong Kong Phooey, Johnny Quest, Justice League Action, which I feel like I bought a season of that. Scooby-Doo, of course, Magilla Gorilla, Quick Draw McGraw, Ricochet Rabbit, those things. Static Shock, speaking of, by the way, also on this list. Super Friends, Supernatural anime, which I did not know there was one. The Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley, folks. Now, I know a lot of y'all are probably too young to remember Ed Grimley, one, being a thing, much less having a cartoon. Yes, that's a thing. New Fred and Barney show, Plastic Man, the old Plastic Man TV show from the 70s, early 80s, whichever one it was. I remember that one. Super Globetrotters, I remember that one. That was an old Savage joint. A bunch of Tom and Jerry, and of course some Yogi stuff. I thought I saw Jackie Chan Adventures in this lineup, but I don't think so. But I think that's already on there. But Shaolin Showdown, for those who know that one. Wacky Races also. No Laugh Olympics, but that might also be on there. So yeah. And yes, exactly, Von Gloom. Feels like Tubi grabbed everything that Zaslav purged, basically. So Tiny Toons Adventures also. Like I said, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff on this list. I know I said I went through a little bit more than a couple, but hey, chances are, if you like the show, it's probably there at this
There you
or
go.
Tubi at this point.
I gotta make sure that Tubi is installed on my streaming
On
devices.
PlayStation.
On Fire Sticks and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I think I'm pretty sure there is a PS5 app for that as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so Tubi's got, as I said in someplace else, Tubi's got your classic cartoons wherever you lie within that. So, and that's going to all start March 1st, by the way. So that is very soon. And like I said, in addition to the stuff that they already have, of which they have a good bit of. Now we're going to get to some, let's just say, anime news.
Gosho Aoyama's popular manga series Detective Conan, it's not based on Conan O'Brien, has been caught in between the growing tensions between China and Japan in response to a recent collaboration visual to celebrate the 30th anniversary of its anime and the 10th anniversary of My Hero Academia's anime. Official bans were issued for recent events in Beijing, Chongqing, and Lanzhou. Merchandise and even cosplay of Detective Conan is not allowed, with organizers of an anime event in Lanzhou going so far as to warn those wearing kimono, wooden clogs, and outfits associated with militarism would be denied entry. Wow.
That is so dumb, honestly. But
Shots fired, man.
Yeah. I also did not know the Detective Conan was still going, but apparently it is.
Right.
So, but that's kind of crazy. Also, Von Gloom, Tubi basically is boomerang at this point. You might as well say. So yes, you are absolutely right. Next up, though, Ghost in the Shell, new anime coming to Prime Video in 2026. So this was from a recent reveal that this is happening. See, the news was announced at the streamer's first ever International Original Showcase in London. It comes as a part of Prime's 2026 Asian content lineup, according to this article. Along with the Cyberpunk series, Prime also presented a few other titles slated to join the platform this year. That includes Korean drama Human X Guhimo, working title, a supernatural romance starring Jun Ji-hyun and Ji Chang-wook, and an Indian film from the producer Alia Bhatt, which that is a name I've heard of. So yeah, the Ghost in the Shell will stream exclusively on Prime Video come July of this year. Science Saru, who's the animation studio behind Ghost in the Shell. Wait, I'm sorry. No, not that's not true. Science Saru is the animation studio behind Dan. I don't think Science Saru had anything to do with Ghost in the Shell initially, but anyway. And then it goes into the history of Ghost in the Shell, which, you know, hey, some folks may or may not know. And also notes that, hey, there hasn't been a new series since SAC back in the 2045. So there you go, folks. More Ghost in the Shell for you, for that ass. Next up, we get into a little bit of manga news. Which you don't need anything for, but
Yen Press announces What Does the Fox Say manhwa series. Yen Press has announced a slew of new licenses slated for publication this summer, including the debut of Chinese manhwa series What Does the Fox Say by Team Goji. Or Gaji, I think it is. That font is a little tricky. What Does the Fox Say follows Sung Ji, actually, a new hire at a game developer who has a crush on her team leader, Su Min. Unfortunately, Su Min does not return her feelings and, in fact, still has feelings for her ex. Okay. Gotta love it.
You know, that old chestnut.
Right. This book, Volume 1, is slated to hit shelves in August.
There you go. Catch it. Next up, Solo Leveling Season 2 audio drama to premiere for, it's already premiered actually, February 16th on Pocket FM, which I think that is where I started reading Solo Leveling, or at least the manga version of that thing. I might be wrong. Either way, so let's see. Soundist Entertainment specializes in K-audio content and produces full-voice audio dramas based on web novels and various stories for story IPs. So it globally distributes story by releasing multilingual dubbed content in Korean, English, Japanese, and other languages. So there's a quote here which we won't go into, but yeah, it's in partnership with Soundist Entertainment. And now you can go check out an audio version of Solo Leveling, you know, if you just don't feel like, you know, reading the manga or watching the anime. Wait, Science Saru also did Scott Pilgrim? I did not know that, but I guess that makes sense because they probably would go with somebody to do just something like that. But Don definitely. Thank you, Von Gloom. Next up, though.
Okay, so this is what is this? Just a review, or is this a new? Oh, this is a classic comic compendium, Crying Freeman Volume 1. It's it is going to be released March 21st, 2006. So it's a new collection of this Crying Freeman series. It's written by Kazuo Koike, who I know best as Lone Wolf, as the creator of Lone Wolf and Cub. Mm-hmm. The art is by Ryoichi Ikegami. And it's translated by Kumar Siva Subramanian. And it's published by Dark Horse. So be on the lookout for this compilation of a pretty substantial work by Kazuo Koike.
I did not know until I read this article that there was a movie done of this. I have heard the name Crying Freeman before, and I have not seen the anime version. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Mark Dacascos, shout out to Manny from Brotherhood of the Wolf, was the I guess the main character of this. So that's interesting. All right, and now keep pulling stuff for next week. That's gonna be ridiculous. But next up, excuse me, folks. Bing. Hey, if you are one of those folks that either collects skate decks for either to put up on your wall or for actual use, and you like Berserk, the anime or manga, hey, guess what? There's a Berserk skate deck ready for you. It's $100. Apparently, there's a variant. It is based off of a cover and a foil variant of said cover. There you go. There's the standard version, and there's the foil variant for your perusal. And it's $100, and you can pre-order it now from Dark Horse Direct, if you so choose. If you're watching the video version, you can see the picture of the deck. So there you go. Next up.
A deal 2 years in the making was announced as a first-of-its-kind collaboration via press release by Viz Media, uniting the iconic anime franchise Naruto Shippuden, created by legendary mangaka Masashi Kishimoto and produced by Studio Pierrot, with global celebrity, of Mr. Beast on a limited time apparel line, merchandise, and a series of fan activations planned for this year. The first drop was available starting Monday, February 16th. So that's over and done with, thankfully. If you're into this stuff, good for you. Have fun. And listen, Naruto is still one of those anime that I haven't really stuck with. So, I kind of don't get it, but I have to get over the whole it's hard to root for the protagonist.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be one of those people, but it does take some time to kind of get into and / used to him, especially and including if you're watching the English dub. But yeah, because as a matter of fact, I just like with Bleach, there's a particular arc that I keep that keep stopping on when I try, and there's a lot of Naruto, so it's a chore. But some people have done it. Kishimoto is legendary, I guess. I don't know. So I'm just going to say real quick, some of this merch actually doesn't look bad. The whole Mr. Beast thing, I care nothing about because that dude, I don't know if he might be a good guy. I don't care, but I'm tired of seeing him everywhere. And I almost didn't put this.
I'm glad I don't see him everywhere. I know the name. I've heard the name, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that also, because that's how you did at the beginning of this. That was me because I do know of it.
Yeah, I'm seriously, this is my real time reaction.
I'm too old for this shit.
So yeah, anyway. Next up, though, as we go swiftly past that, Global Comics partners with 7 Seas to offer manga, manhwa, and manhua. I don't know what the difference is on that one, so my apologies for that. I was sitting here trying to figure out what 7 Seas is. I mean, I know what they are, who they are, but I'm trying to figure out the manga that they produce, and I'm kind of thinking it was like the adult version. I don't know. But regardless, starting, when this article, I guess this is actually technically yesterday as this is recording, but starting today, Global Comics Gold members have access to a curated selection of more than 50 7 Seas titles, and they can use an exclusive discount on OneClay Plus additional 7 Seas titles when purchasing digitally through the storefront. Moving forward, Global Comics will offer day-and-date digital releases for all 7 Seas volumes, meaning free and paid members can get access to the newest chapters in current and upcoming series at the same time. They realize that, and if I'm thinking about the wrong people thinking about 7 Seas, then I guess I apologize. I don't know. But yeah, that is the thing, folks. If you're on that platform, there's more manga to be had. Next up, we get into a little bit of I'm going to go ahead and put this as comic book news. Yes.
This summer, Dark Horse Comics and Tiny Onion will team up to celebrate Pride Month with the June 3rd release of the new one-shot Monsters in Love, a Pride anthology featuring 10 new standalone stories blending horror and romance in the style of classic EC Comics anthologies by fan favorite LGBTQIA+ creators. There you go.
Some of which you know. By the by. So, cool. Apparently it's a one-shot anthology, and it'll be out if that's the thing you like.
There you go. If you're looking for it, June 3rd,
Yeah.
there it is.
Catch it. during Pride Month. How opportune. Next up, let's see. Mark Waid and David Lapham has new Bad Idea comic has a 200 comic print run. And by the way, Von Gloom, yes, you the English Naruto voice. You get used to it, but nah, it's jarring at first. Also, Monster Yaoi, that's funny. Yeah, might be some of that too. Who knows? Hey, if that's your thing, no knocking there. But yeah, Mark Waid, David Lapham, Bad Idea comic has a 200 copy print run. So this is news coming out of Comics Pro, which apparently also happened in the past few days or past week or so. So the book is actually called When I Was 5, and I think we might have a copy, a review copy out there. But yeah, it's a 200 copy print run for 99 Comics Pro stores only. So I guess Bad Idea is Mark Waid's imprint, of course, or that is a imprint. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess this is the fourth title that is coming out of that the imprint, and apparently there's some lore to go along with it. Not necessarily lore in the sense of backstory of the book, but with the Secret Six Comics brand and Bad Idea, which you can read in this article, so we don't have to necessarily go through. Next up.
In an exclusive from Comics Pro 26, Oni and Archie reveal the first wave of classic collected editions that will start to hit shelves this fall. These are classic comic editions spanning the latter's Archie Comics' 85-year history, and it's timed to hit shelves alongside the new Archie #1, co-written by W. Maxwell Prince and Fabio Moon, and illustrated by Nick Cagnetti in September. And yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. If there's ever been an enduring set of characters, it's the Archies. It's the Archie ones.
Oh yeah.
There you go. And I'm if you're on the video version, you can see me kind of scrolling through the stuff. There you go. A lot of Archie, a lot of Sabrina. Oh yeah, that one book we got married to both to Betty and Veronica, not necessarily at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they did. I don't know. He gets down like that. But next up, the boys get. Good Lord, excuse me. My apologies, folks. I just get choked up about the boys. But the boys get bloody blind bag variants. Say that 5 times fast. Let's see. I think this article does rest assured that no real blood has been used in the making of these blind bags, so I guess that's reassuring. So that's what Dynamite is announcing to tie in with the 5th and final season of course, the show, The Boys. And I don't know. I guess people still buy blind bags. Let's see. The books that are being bagged up are The Boys #1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 52, and 65. So I guess good luck. And this also notes that season 5 of The Boys is going to premiere on April 5th of this year, if you're still watching that. Next up.
News out of Comics Pro. ThunderCats Silverhawks is set to introduce a new character named Chromium. You gotta love it. So Chromium will first appear in March's ThunderCats Silverhawks Road to War, written by main Silverhawks writer Ed Brisson, before truly making his presence known in Declan Shalvey's ThunderCats Silverhawks #1.
I thought this character, if it's the character I'm thinking of, I thought this character had been technically introduced already, just not by name, but I could be very much wrong. And again, Von Gloom, this is the reason why I said you might want to get caught up with 2 of those properties earlier, because we knew this was coming, just saying. But yeah, that Road to War is coming fairly soon. There's also a book
March 18th.
Yes.
March 18th, the crossover event begins in April.
And there is another book that I guess officially comes out next week that we'll be talking about that it also leads up to this. So there you go. Next up, Cobra Goes Silent, aka, hey, remember those silent interlude issues that we got a few months ago that started Joe's? Well, guess what? They're doing them from Cobra now. I don't think we talked about this when this article came out, but if we did, oh well. The event kicks off with the Baroness #1, which is going to arrive on the weirdest date ever, April 1st, 2026. There's a Crimson Guard one, a Zartan one, and a Copperhead one, and a Firefly one. Let's see, each issue is going to be $3.99 in the stores. So I'm assuming, like I said, I assume they're going to come out every week starting on April 1st. Given that being the case. So surely we will be talking about them just like we talked about those other ones. If you're watching the video version, you can see there's the Baroness cover, and of course the rest of them floating through there.
Interestingly, I wonder if Declan Shalvey's doing the art on that Baroness silent issue.
You know, it doesn't say, and actually it doesn't even say who's doing the art on any of these. So that is a very good question, though.
I'm just looking at the cover and the trade dress. So
well, it seemed like, I guess he's doing the insides. Well, wait, Joel Jones.
Yeah.
Wait, so is he doing art and writing it?
Maybe.
Huh. Because Mike Spicer's color is Joel Jones.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, Joel Jones must be the one writing it, and then I guess he's doing the art for it, and because she's normally doing art.
Right. I mean, listen, we'll find out when the issue actually comes out. Yeah. Maybe that'll clear up the credits. But
sure.
I was just kind of looking at the sequence of names on the cover, and I'm like, oh, maybe Declan Shalvey's providing the art for this.
And actually, yes, it's in even this top still doesn't say, it just says from them. It doesn't say who's doing what. So we will definitely find out. But either way, next month in April, not next month.
All right, next up, Boom Studios is announces a new collection of the life and death of Lucas Dreamwalker. This is a horror tale that refuses to die from the mind of R.L. Stine and Francesco Francavilla. Lucas Dreamwalker initially started as a short in Boom Studios' wildly popular Hello Darkness anthology. Now it's being collected by its lonesome for the first time. When, where, and how much? News. The Life and Death of Lucas Dreamwalker #1 will be available at your local comic shop beginning May 27th. No info on pricing.
Yeah, probably regular price, I would imagine. It's going to be $4.99 or $5.99. Mm-hmm. All right, it's going to be $3.99 or $4.99. Excuse me. Which I noticed they've been kind of slowly creeping that up again. But in I guess print watch for this site, Marvel sends Cyclops, Moon Knight, and Ultimate Endgame back to second printings with new variant covers. That Bleeding Hearts #1 that Agent 70 talked about last week is also getting a second printing. We already talked about the Absolute lines getting the gang loads of new printings, and Ordained #1 from Bad Idea Comics is reaching a fourth printing apparently, which, okay, cool. I guess that Cyclops and Moon Knight sold that well for that to happen. So I guess good on them. Next up,
Marvel Comics has released a teaser for Hell on Earth, a new event from Al Ewing and Ivan Coelho. Launching in July, the event will feature Knull after he conquered the Light Force dimension, unleashing what Marvel describes as a supernova-level display of power up against Hela, now in possession of Knull's powers. It's too brute. It's the Queen in Black versus, I'm going to go with the King in Light. That's the article writer's thing. So more details are promised later this week, and there's a teaser in this article of an image teaser.
Mm-hmm. Yep, buckle up, folks. Another event, Fast and Furiously. Next up, though.
I spy Beta Ray Bill on the cover.
Oh, yeah, you did. But next up, original Batman Judge Dredd crossover to get 35th anniversary deluxe hardcover. It's from 2000 AD. And let's see, so Batman Judgment. See, yeah, so it's going to be Batman Judge Dredd Judgment on Gotham Anniversary Edition is what it's called. And it is the first crossover between the two signature characters back in 1991. And there's a press release here, which I won't really go into, but let's see, it will be released on an oversized 14.2 by 10.9 inch hardcover on May 6th, retailing for €30, pounds, whatever that translates to in the US, and which I'm sure is probably like 35, I don't know. Let's see, 2000 AD web shop exclusive hardcover limited to 1,000 copies will also be available for £34.99, and pre-orders are now available. So that's in if you did not know, that's in the UK. Fine Clip says, "Boo! No more mega events." You know, they did say that whole thing was like not supposed to be yada 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 yada. But you know, there's never not going to be an event because people keep buying them. Next up.
Look out! DC unveils Summer of Supergirl publishing plans. So, with the Supergirl movie set to arrive in theaters on June 26th, 2026, DC unveiled details for the Summer of Supergirl, which will encompass retailer events, surprises for fans, and an incredible lineup of comic books and graphics for fans of all ages. Okay. April 18th has long been recognized as a milestone in the history of comic books, so they're making that Supergirl Day, you know, as opposed to being Superman Day. I guess normally that's what it is, so it's going to be Supergirl Day. And yeah, you can get a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here, folks.
There definitely is, and yeah, the one time Soups gets sidelined is because his cousin's got a movie coming out. Weird.
There you go.
But yeah, you can read what's all in that whole situation in the article and show notes. Next up, though, going back to that whole Transformers the movie going back out to the theaters. Hey, guess what's getting a 40th anniversary deluxe edition? That's right, the adaptation of the movie. It will be available in comic shops on August 12th. 2026. You know who's doing this. It's Skybound. Come on, folks. Get with it. So let's see. Featuring the work of writers Ralph Macchio, no, not that one, and Bob Budiansky, artists Don Perlin, Ian Aiken, Brian Garvey, Don Figueroa, and new cover art by by Sean. They say hit the talented Sean Murphy, which I do like his art, so I'm not slighting him. But Sean Gordon Murphy. From the aforementioned Batman White Knight, which I do love. So there's the cover right there if you're watching the video version. I believe there is also, I thought I saw something about a variant, one of which might be from Declan Shalvey. I'm not sure, but that might be elsewhere. But regardless, like I said, that's the thing. That's coming. You can cry your eyes out, you know, going to see the movie again or reading about it again. But so yes, so the physical book is going to be out, like I said, August 12th, 2026, and it's going to be on digital platforms on Tuesday, September 8th, 2026. So there you go. Next up,
you want to take this one because you can break the bad news to people.
Oh yeah. Since I mentioned it earlier, sure. So folks, along with that last announcement with the Transformers the movie coming back into theaters, and as I alluded to earlier, there was an actual Matrix of Leadership prop that was up for pre-order at the time that was announced. Unfortunately, folks, that thing's been sold out since then. That thing's sold out.
I'm going to assume it's on pre-order through Pulse and Amazon. It's not on pre-order anywhere else?
I have not seen it pre-order or anything, but yes, it was initially through Pulse.
And Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see the Amazon one, but I guess that thing did happen. But I guess that happened. It was. They said it was $125, but this price says $139.99. But they said it was. Well, there was a price listed as $125 during the initial announcement of this. But again, like I said, that's that. This is it. You can't get it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Again, folks. This was a prop of the Matrix of Leadership. You can open it up and it plays The Touch. So you hold it over. You could hold it over your head. And as a matter of fact, I have seen that there has been a couple of videos of people actually doing that because I guess they had a photocopy or something of doing that. And that, but yeah, it's gone now. I don't know when they're going to get another. If it's going to come back out, I very seriously doubt it's going to come back out. Or at least anytime soon. I'll put it this way. So you missed out your chance.
A lot of those Transformers movie based things are sold out.
Yes,
on Pulse.
That's true. So the Megatron, I think we talked about it a while ago. The Megatron and the Prime were still around for a little bit until this happened. I think they sold out of that again. I'm not sure. Yeah. So because I guess not enough people saw that. Because like I said, that was something that was announced before this. Those two anyway. Yeah, not surprising. You know,
you can still get. No, you can't get it anymore.
What?
I was about to say the Shockwave, but it says it's sold out.
Right. Yeah,
the
I think
pre-orders are. Yeah, there's the pre-order. Actually, the Megatron's still available.
Oh, shocker. Well, because it's a tank. That's why. That's probably freaking why. He's a damn tank.
Yeah, Prime is no longer available, but Megatron is still available.
Mm-hmm. You can get the Megatron and don't transform him, and all will be well. But you know, you just can't do that the first part of that movie, which is probably for the best anyway. But before Agent 7 takes the next one, just want to point people to the clickbait section where the folks at Transformers World went through the Hasbro booth at the Toy Fair, and there's a bunch of stuff that they saw that they have pictures of. And again, like I said, I didn't want to. I was going to put it in the lineup, but I was like, you know what? Folks can check it out for themselves because we still have a lot to go through.
Yeah, the Matrix Leadership was on sale for $139.99 on Pulse.
Yeah, that's what's that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I remember you were going back and forth between the two prices. So
right, because the initial price was $125, but the Pulse price was $140. So I don't know. So maybe that initial price was an error or something.
Possibly, quite possibly.
Next up, though,
I'm just looking at what's available on Pulse now because that's a bad thing to do. Next up. What are we up to? Next Evolution Transformers series reveals new look at military style action figures. Like, we need more of that. So the Transformers Overgear line is set to take the brand to the next level, uniting concepts from throughout different continuities. The first two figures in the line are now shown in epic detail. T-Spark Transformers Overgear OG1 Ironhide and OG2 Blackout are the first two Overgear figures, with these toys reimagining the titular Autobot and Decepticon, now shown as more militaristic style figures.
I mean, the Ironhide, excuse me. Sure, it's not even a van.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a pickup truck.
Yeah. Which no knock on that, but I'm just saying, sure. It's definitely not going to be a trailbreaker anytime soon. But anyway, if you've read Transformers, you understand. Next up, though, wait, do we do a price on those, or do we even care enough to do a price on those? I guess I don't see a price on here. Oh, here we go. Scheduled to come out October 31st, 2026. That seems like a quarterly thing. So
$130
for 116.
Oh, I see. Ironhide is 116. Blackout's 130.
Yes. So there you go. Next up, though, Gundam's Most Forgotten, I guess. 26 with new high-grade Gunpla. I guess. So the new high-grade 1144 Gundam Leopard model kit is based on After-War Gundam X, the third alternate universe entry for the brand in the 1990s, which there are a bunch. Excuse me. Recently shown during a live stream, it has a similar aesthetic to a completely different mobile suit from another timeline. That would be Heavy Arms, I would assume that they're mentioning, because it definitely does look like Heavy Arms from Gundam Wing. Also, please stop with these damn commercials. I mean, ads on the side. According to this article, it's right on time for the overlooked anime to honor its 30th anniversary, with the new collectible definitely making for a worthy decision. According to this article. I mean, according to this article's writer also, because, yeah, I guess you would have to be a youngster or a younger folk for this one. Bandai's recent release, Gundam Leopard, is a new high-grade model kit and one of many scheduled to release in 2026. It's going to be $24.99 at the USA Gundam Store website, and scheduled for release in Q4 of 2026. Which, again, as it says, in time for the 30th anniversary of After-War Gundam X. Next up.
All right, from Toy Fair 2026, we have a few images for McFarlane Toys Batman the Animated Series Build-A-Figure Clock King Wave. So the wave is going to consist of Batman, Zatanna, Mad Hatter, and Joker with the Build-A-Figure Clock King. Okay. Coming from McFarlane Toys. We'll learn more about its distribution probably soon.
Tick tock. Emma Effers. Okay, that's not what he said, but
cool that that we're getting an animated Zatanna from this.
Yeah, and the figures look pretty good, gotta say. So there you go. Next up, though, I guess continuing from the Toy Fair and DC line, McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse and other DC items. So the aforementioned stuff was also shown in this article, but also stuff like Red Hood's, a bust of Red Hood's head, and Batman Beyond's head. Whoa, scroll. Don't scroll. And let's see, Azrael Batman, there's a bunch of stuff. There's, for some strange reason, a Megatron bust as well, but that's just probably because it was just there. There's the, like I said, the aforementioned Batman animated figures there. There's some Super Friends stuff, including Lex Luthor and the Robe. There's the Black Manta, and that Aquaman is not from the Super Friends, but I guess they chose that as an alternate. Let's see, the Superman there. There was a Scarecrow in the back. There we go, from the Super Friends. It's a Black Racer. I guess that was his name. There's a Ice. There's a Skyhawk dude. I can't remember. Some other folks, including a Joker and a Professor Pig, and some other statues and figures.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff here. Make sure to take a look at some of these articles that have great photos.
As the OG Static Shock figure, that's cool. From the original Milestone costume. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just flipping through the stuff, folks, because you can see it in the article for yourself. Next up,
so we have a look at the new McFarlane Toys the Marvel Rivals collectible. So this is based on the arcade the video game, which features Captain America, Jeff the Shark, Magneto, Thor, and Doctor Strange from McFarlane Toys. You can stay tuned for some of the other cool things that you'll see. I mean, if it's going to be McFarlane Toys, it's going to be a little bit of a different scale than Marvel Legends. That Jeff the Shark looks pretty fun. But yeah, that's definitely some alternate scale figures,
Yeah, I don't know, and I know people are heavy on Marvel Rival, but and yes, I intentionally said it like that. I wish I could get into that game. I cannot. So yeah, that's out there for folks, including. Also, I say that because people don't like Jeff in that game for reasons. So, you know, who hating on the cute cuddly Jeff who will eat you. But anyway, Hasbro's Dan Yun and all but confirms Marvel Legends series Deluxe, the Incredible Hulk series. Smart Hulk is coming. So apparently we may be getting a Smart Hulk figure.
No, this is confirmed.
Well, it wasn't confirmed as of this article. So.
Yeah, as of this article, right. It's definitely been confirmed.
Yeah. So there's a bunny slipper accessory apparently, and Smart Hulk with a gun. There you go. We don't have a pricing on it because I don't have an up to date article on it. But there was also apparently another reveal. Well, I don't know if this has been confirmed, but a role playing Miles Morales Spider-Man mask. This article is assuming could happen. So I hadn't seen anything on that one yet, but I'm sure if it's out there, it's out there. Next up,
right?
Though,
so it's actually the Marvel Legends Professor Hulk. It's going to be going on sale for $46.99. Pre-order is set for March 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on some of your favorite toy sources.
Okay, cool. Next up,
because I know that they definitely announced that, and it's just another article in the sequence from the same website. Let's see at at the 2026 New York Toy Fair. There is in this next article a walkthrough of the Marvel Legends booth. And we definitely get a walkthrough. We get to see the new Hulk hands. We get to see the new Smart Hulk preview. It's based on the Peter David run of the Hulk with believe that was Dale Keown art. So that's pretty cool. And I just talked about the pricing and when it drops. Apparently, let's see here. There's I think unless you have an article that describes some more Marvel Legends drops, there's a Bullseye 2-pack with Muse that's going to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive that goes up for pre-order on March 4th. So
I don't
make
believe
sure
I have that, but
it's all right. But at the end of the day, for anyone who's going to look into these pre-orders, the pre-orders tend to drop, or at least they're scheduled so far on Wednesdays for the next month and a half, almost for the rest of February and into March.
Oh wait, actually, this article does mention that he's a Bullseye 2-pack. So
that's where I was taking that from.
Yeah. And actually, and something else that you had mentioned that's coming up in a little bit. But yeah, and also that Maximum Hulk, the Maximum Thor that we talked about last week. So we don't need to necessarily go on that. New Marvel Legends Onslaught Target exclusive coming up soon. We may have talked about this before. I don't remember, but it's definite now. Fall 2026, 8 inches. Price is $39.99. And yeah, therein lies that, and you can see the figure right there. It's Onslaught, folks. Which, wait, wasn't this a Build-A-Figure?
It was a Build-A-Figure.
That's what I thought. So they're continuing to do that. But yeah, that's that. Next up,
Soar with Hasbro's new X-Men 97 Archangel Marvel Legends figure. It's inspired by the X-Men 97 animated design. So yeah, this is a slightly different Archangel wing design, and I think this is what might entice a lot of people to look into this, because it's got the pointy arc design that some comic book artists prefer. I happen to like the that fork design that was originally part of the Archangel design, where the wings are like sheathed. So I may get this for that particular feature.
And if you're folks watching the video version, you can see the accoutrement coming with sheathed wings and the wings that kind of have a little that you can pose a couple of ways. You got an alternate head, got a gun, and a couple of hands, a couple extra hands.
It'll be pre-order goes live on Hasbro Pulse on March 25th, 2026. I do believe that's a Wednesday for $39.99.
Yeah. All right. Next up there. Marvel Comics is Aaron. Yeah, this is what we talked about a little earlier. But Marvel Comics' Aaron Davis Iron Spider Marvel Legend has been unveiled. It's going to be. It's available for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse for $34.99. It's going to ship on June 2026 with 7 accessories. If you're watching the video version, you can see said figure right there, and the accessories right there, and so therein lies that. So if that is something of interest to you, you can go ahead and order that
Right now.
Yeah. Next up.
Right now on Hasbro Pulse, the Mezco Doctor Doom 112 collective figure reissue is now gone up for order. Mezco brought this figure back, right? Because it has been in big demand. So let's see here. You get a lot of cool accessories, a bunch of different heads and faces, a hinged spell book with printed pages. This Mezco Doom is pretty impressive. I'm looking at it's $180. Yeah, that's not a joke, man. Because this is cloth. His costume is cloth.
Mm-hmm. But a good looking Doom. So hey, if you feel so inclined, have at it. And you got that kind of money. Next up though, folks, we talked about Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls last week. And one thing we were wondering outside of the release date, which we got last week, is when are you going to be able to pre-order it? Well, guess what? That is right now today.
I placed my pre-order already.
I have not, even though I don't know why I did, because I figured out which one I wanted. But and I don't even know why it was even a question as to which one I was going to get. But so you can go out there right now in the PlayStation Store and pre-order Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls for $60 for the standard version. $89.99 for the $84.99 for the digital deluxe, which gives you some other things, and the $99 version, the $100 version, which gives you everything from the digital deluxe and some extra costumes. Which that's probably the one I'm going to end up getting because I'm stupid that way, but that's okay.
Yeah, I just got the basic. I'm basic like that, folks.
So the reason, and I'm not saying that anybody just follow suit. The reason why that one would possibly get the digital deluxe or the ultimate edition is because they come with a year one pass, which means any characters that come out in the next year prior to this, and there will be, by the way, you just get. Now, yes, you will be able to get the battle pass / those characters separately. So. It is, you don't have to worry about not being able to get them, but you will be charged therein for that, and probably whatever they come with, which is probably like some extra costumes or something. So, but
yeah, as opposed to I get it. You're pre-ordering the extras to at a discount as opposed to paying them as you go. So
kinda, yeah. We don't, and we still don't know how many other characters we're going to get. We just know we're starting off at 20. So,
right.
We shall see though. Next up, there.
All right, Lego. Ooh, Jesus. Give me 1 second. Lego's new Star Wars sets include a Grogu-sized ship. No Mandos allowed. This is, these basically tease what's going to happen in the Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not getting the Razor Claw back, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some other stuff. There's a ATRT in here and some other stuff, but that's... Oh, wait, there is a Razor Claw. So Lego Razor Claw. This is about the closest you're going to get to that again.
Razor Crest. Yeah.
Razor Crest, excuse me, yes. Yeah. Yes. After that one got ceremoniously dismissed on the show. There's an X-Wing, speeder. Again, Lego stuff, folks. Next up, though, more Lego with Lego Snoopy's Doghouse. And there you go. Replete with little miniature typewriter and campfire set, and of course a Woodstock. So it is going to retail at $89.99. It's available for pre-order right now and will be released on Monday, June the 1st. And it's it's going to be 964 pieces to this set. So
we're not doing a Red Baron. You got to do a Red Baron. Come on.
I'm pretty sure there's probably one coming. This is probably just initial. Red Baron Snoopy, yeah, the Sop of Camel, that's probably coming. Next up, though.
All right. Power Rangers and Godzilla reunite. Goodness. As Kaiju Ranger toys. So that we're bringing that crossover to shelves. Each figure is going to retail for $15.99 to be released in Target in March.
I feel like when that crossover happened, I said they were going to probably do figures of this. I mean, if I didn't say it, then I said it in my head. But regardless, there you go. It was inevitable one way or the other. Next up, though, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe are combining into the action figures of your 80s fever dream, according to this article. So, yeah, the Turtles and the Joes are crossing over. So yeah, there you go. There are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures that look like various Joes. A couple of
April as Scarlet,
and April as Scarlet. So there you go. Stuff as within. So of course, you got Donatello. Which why? I mean, I know why. Don't answer that question. You got Donatello as Dial Tone. You got Raphael. You got
Donatello as Dial Tone.
You got Michael. You got Mikey as Shipwreck, which that kind of makes sense. Raphael as I'm assuming that's Roadblock.
Yeah, Roadblock.
And of course Leonardo as Snake Eyes. So therein lies that, and then of course there's a
because they have to have ninjas. That's like that's the opposite of what the current G.I. Joe comic is doing.
All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. Of course, there's going to be the villains are not left without out of the action as we get Bebop and Rocksteady. We got. I'm assuming that's his Cobra Commander. I'm assuming Shredder is Cobra Commander. Krang as Destro. Bebop as I always get them mixed up. Bebop as Ripper, and Rocksteady, or is it the other way around? Anyway, regardless, them two bozos as Dreadnoks, which makes absolute total sense. There's the G.I. Joe Jeep in the shape of turtles.
Yeah, that's the All Striker. Who is the turtle? Oh, Slash as Storm Shadow.
Is that? Wait. Yeah, I guess that is. Yeah.
I have no idea who Slash is. Yeah, I'm just
yeah, Slash is just another mutant that actually it wouldn't have made any more sense if you read this week's Battle Nexus, because he does show up as that also.
Okay.
But he's another mutant that has either been friend or foe to the Joes.
You could have at least made Donatello Breaker, not freaking Dial Tone.
I'm saying.
Shots.
Again, Downtown still kind of makes sense, but yes, I agree with that assessment.
God. Oh my god. I mean, how you gotta do Donnie dirty like that, man?
Exactly.
Shots fired,
God damn it.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
So yeah, therein lies that, folks. Let's see. Trying to see if there's some news actually. It will be available this summer as Playmates prepares to hand over to the TMNT toy license to Mattel after almost 40 years in 2027. According to the article, at least it's going out with a bang. Yeah, I'm not seeing a price here, but there you go. I'm sure we'll get more on the pricing closer to release. Next up, though, I'll take this. In fact, I'll take these next two. So yeah, as I told you last week, or as we told you last week, the Magic and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaboration is happening soonish. In fact, the beginning of next month is when that set is coming out, and you can check out some cards here on this page from Magic the Gathering, and some alternate arts with Kevin Eastman's handwriting on them, apparently. So good for them. Good for him. Let's see. Yep, some more cards. Just a reveal. I mean, just a reveal of some more card stuff, and of course, where you can pre-order bundles and cards therein. And I believe that set is coming out March the 1st or the 6th. March 6th. There you go. It's at the top. Next up, also, Wizards of the Coast adds new feature to Magic the Gathering Companion app. So apparently it's going to allow players to bookmark their favorite stores, which I guess that's handy if you're using that app. Oh, that's neat. I will put that one in there for myself. Excuse me, folks. But yeah, I don't really use that app, so I don't know much about what goes on in the app. Let's see. You can create player profiles that can be personalized and track events, histories. It's got an inbox, and some other stuff. So just in case you do play Paper Magic at your local game store, I guess this will help you in that situation a little bit more. There you go. Next up.
Alrighty, next up, Canadian toy manufacturer Spin Master revealed its own line of K-pop Demon Hunters toys at Toy Fair. The forthcoming product line spans 4 categories, including digital pets, creative play, puzzles, and compounds. So yeah, you know what? They're covering all the bases. Like Mattel and Hasbro have a lot of the other toy releases for K-pop Demon Hunters. Spin Masters has their own as well.
Yep, got to come in somewhere, I guess, with your own spin on things. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Anyway, next up, oops, come on. More Toy Fair news with NECA, Muppets, yeah, Sesame Street, DuckTales, woo, and Pee Wee Herman. All of these are figures that have been announced at Toy Fair. Noticeably absent from the DuckTales line is Mrs. Beakley and Webbergale. Hey. But you got Gizmo Duck. I guess Gyro Gear Loose if you want to go that far with it. But y'all know what you do. But yes, you got Uncle Scrooge, the boys, Launchpad, and Gizmo Duck. There, you got Bert and Ernie for Sesame Street. Count.
They got some great figures here. Like I am definitely tempted. Like I had seen on my socials pictures of the Big Bird.
Yes, as
right?
I got up
that
right now.
Big Bird is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I also did not know that I didn't really take the time to explore the NECA site. Look at that, Oscar the Grouch.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow!
Yep.
That Oscar the Grouch is awesome.
It's not a bad looking feature. And of course, you got a Super Grover. You got some Muppet Show stuff because you got the Mana folks, Miss Piggy, and Gonzo and Camilla, who also shows up in that Muppets book, by the way, that I talked about earlier. So it looks like this stuff is coming out 2027. These are prototypes that they were showing off there. So yeah, there's some Mana folks. There's Camilla, there's Gonzo, there's Miss Piggy, there's Pee Wee Herman, and with Pee Wee Herman stuff, like I can't remember the names of some of these characters, but y'all know them when y'all see them from the show. Some various faces. Oh, there's the his stuff from the movie, his little backpack from the movie, not backpack, but his little his little bag from the movie. So there you go. But yeah, and there lies all of that. I don't think I missed anything, but yes. So DuckTales, woo, and also Mana. Next up,
I've got to get that Oscar the Grouch.
I would kind of get the Mana folks.
Yeah,
just
the
as
Big Bird
forgiveness.
I actually already have in a cart on the NECA website. The pre-order is $69.99.
Nice.
Because that Big Bird is awesome.
Also comes with a letter B apparently.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find out now how much the Oscar is, because that's a phenomenal. It may not be available yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, some of the stuff is like 2027. So for what it says,
right. But Big Bird is available now. I might just cop that because that's pretty cool.
It is actually pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, there's one more shot of Oscar the Grouch, right there.
All right, so Bert and Ernie are available, and the Count are available. Yeah.
There's the Count right there, replete with the number 2. I don't know.
Yeah,
if that,
no, I gotta go. I definitely gotta go Big Bird on that one. Like, of the available ones right now, I gotta go Big Bird. So.
Right. Oh, I guess they do come with actual letters because the Supergirl comes with the S and G. The Bert comes with stories in his collection of pins or buttons or whatever that was. I can't remember.
Yeah, Ernie comes with a C.
Not an E. That's weird.
No, he comes with the C.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ernie featuring the letter C.
C. Well, C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
But...
I'm like, why doesn't C come with Cookie Monster?
Right. Exactly. Missed opportunity, like 2 different ways, right there. But hey,
Big Bird. That's the one I need to get. And Oscar the Grouch.
And Oscar. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
That's for me.
Anywho, next up, you know what? I'll do this one. Infamous.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I was about to say, did I not? Or did I jump all over that one?
No. You're good. Because the infamous masked bull revealed in Wave 2 in the sales Cowboys of Mumesa action figures. So it's good that I took this one, and you'll understand in a moment. But they're still doing Mumesa toys, I guess. I mean, I guess because I've seen them in the stores, so that's not even a guess. I've absolutely seen them. And you can get this character who I have no idea about for yourself, if you so choose to. I don't see a price here for it. And also a pre-sale date, apparently, according to this article, for Mumesa Wave 2 has not yet been announced. So, there you go. Next up.
Lionsgate announces highly anticipated AAA John Wick video game with Saber Interactive for PC and consoles.
Yeah. Guns. Lots of guns.
Become the Baba Yaga in a new single-player third-person action game made for mature audiences and revealed during Sony's State of Play showcase.
Somebody please get this man a gun.
So this is going to be this is currently in development for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X XJS or X, oh no, XS, and PC, the new single-player third-person action game will combine John Wick's unparalleled adrenaline-fueled gun-fu fighting style with Saber's proven reputation for creating thrilling game experiences that leaves players craving more. John Wick franchise director Chad Stahelski and star Keanu Reeves are both involved in the game's production, with Reeves signed on to reprise his iconic character's look, voice, and more.
Can confirm.
Not,
You know?
yeah, not really.
Ha!
Actually, that's the wrong one because so I watched this trailer video, and yes, Stahelski shows up in it, and also, like I said, they're going through the footage, which looks actually pretty good. If you get a chance, you should check it out. At the end, you see digital Keanu Reeves saying the first thing you played. Yeah. You know, because I was thinking, because as I was going through the trailer, I was like, he's going to say, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. And he kind of almost does, but he just says, yeah. And then it just goes off. But yeah, if you get a chance, check out the trailer. It's a conceptual trailer. I mean, not sure how far along they are.
They're probably cutscenes. That's the thing.
Yes and no. Because, I mean, looks like there's some in-engine stuff, and there's just like, you know, concepts of what the gameplay is going to definitely look like, which they tend to do. Like I said, I don't know how much of it is actual gameplay, but it's definitely looks like some in-engine stuff. So, also worth noting, which I wish you could get anymore, but there was a John Wick VR game that was that seemed pretty cool that you can no longer get anymore. But you know, it is what it is on that one. Lastly, but not least, a new Pokemon pinball machine lets you catch them all. I've added that last part because you know you weren't thinking about it. Battle and complete a Pokedex. So this comes from the good folks at Stern Pinball. If you did not know, say they've teamed up with the Pokemon company to create the first Pokemon-themed pinball machine ever, which that seems weird. It has it has an HD screen, it's got an animatronic Pikachu, and like I said, the HD screen's can show like some anime footage, and of course it's got voices and stuff coming up. And also, apparently there's an app that Stern has that you can like tap to it and save your progress from the machine. And I guess in this case, what Pokemons that you catch while playing the game. There's a trailer out here for that. You can check it out if you're interested in it. It looks actually pretty cool. It's $12,000, folks. It's $12,000, and I think that might be the regular version because usually they usually do two versions. They've been doing two different versions of these. There's the regular version and the premium version, and I can't remember if the 12,000 is the premium version or the standard version, which I think it is. It's just the standard version. But yeah, it's a pricey joint. I mean, you got the Pokemon license and a machine like this. Yeah, it's about it. And also, oh wait, so here we go. Here I can tell you right now. So see, the MSRP of the Pro model is set at $6,900, so $7,000, with the premium at $9,700, and the limited edition, there we go, is $12,999, aka $13,000. And they're all available for pre-order right now. So you pinball junkies who get that kind of scratch, you know, and the place to put it in your home, I guess you can do that. And from what I understand, the game you hook it up to the internet, and so it can get updates to new stuff like new Pokemon and new like events come from. So I'm sure this is going to be in probably a Dave and Buster's near you, or some other place, or some barcade near you at some point, if they got it like that. But yeah, like I said, it's a cool looking. If you're watching the video version, you can see the table from the top down. There's a Meowth right there also, by the by. So yeah, does whatever pinball does, but extra stuff. And with that, folks, that is it for the news section. Before we get the heck up out of here, let's get one last ad read.
Our last ad read of the night is for Blue Apron's meal delivery service. Blue Apron, fresh ingredients and incredible recipes delivered weekly to your door. Skip the grocery store and make incredible meals at home with Blue Apron, always shipped free right to your home. And now the listeners of the Comic Book Chronicles can get $30 off your first Blue Apron order. To place your first order with $30 off and to help keep our show free for you, go to our network website at cspn.us. That's cspn.us. Then click on the Keep Our Podcast Free link at the top of the page. From there, scroll down to the Blue Apron link and sign up for your first order. Blue Apron through cspn.us. Do it today.
All right, folks, we're out of here. But before we do, really quick, show and tell. I got some Gundam the card game cards, by the way. So
Nice.
Finally tracked some down. I need to find some boosters and maybe another. So this is a pre-built deck. Wait,
Those are not easy to get.
they very much are not, and I think this is the Japanese version, so I might have screwed up. But hey, good for a collection. So yeah, as Agent 7 said, these absolutely are not easy to find. So the fact that I saw that out there for a halfway decent price is something. So we'll see. I had to go through and see if there's English on this. Because the writing on the back is Japanese, so I'm assuming I got the Japanese version. It didn't say that when I bought it, but I also got it off of Amazon, so therein lies that.
Right.
Anyway, folks, we're out of here. We will be back next week, next Thursday, the same bat time, same bat channel with some more goodness. What is going on next week? I don't think we have anything now that I think about it. If we do, it's I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's also late. So I have been your host, Roddykat. You can find me at Roddykat on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find me at News Notes Dean on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find me at CBCaps on Instagram. Agent_70 on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads. You're going to find this here podcast on the Cold Slither Podcast Network, the CSPN.us.
Do it today.
You can also find us on your podcast perusal place of choice, whether it be Google Play, Apple iTunes, aka Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the Cold Slither Podcast Network SoundCloud page. But you can also find us recording every Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Or closer to 10 o'clock, let's be honest, on youtube.com/TheKliqNation and twitch.tv/Comic Book Chronicles.
Make sure to click like, subscribe, and leave us all the positive 5-star reviews, especially on Apple Podcasts, because that helps people find our show. Hit that notification button so you know when we are on live and direct. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thank you.
Indeed. All right, folks, that is it. We will see you folks next week. This has been the Comic Book Chronicles. Peace.
Peace. One.
Good evening, Red. Would you believe it's Dr. Doom?
What's on your evil mind?
Hold your insulting tongue and mock my words well.
How about this rumor that you are really Iron Man, Mr. Stark?